God says, this message is for you, and it must be opened now. Don't try to skip this. God is begging you to stop whatever you are doing and read every single line that follows. Don't tell this to anyone, this is between you and the Most High. It's over for you if you skip. Hear me, 15 minutes remain on a doorway that opens only once in this season. 15 minutes to change the current of your life, 15 minutes to shift a destiny that has been knotted and wearied, 15 minutes in which heaven leans close and waits for your answer. Archangel Michael stands at your threshold. I am not speaking in metaphors alone. This is an urgent word, a direct incision into the noise of your day. The trumpet has sounded softly, then louder, then with the unmistakable vibration of warning and rescue. You will cry if you do not open your heart now, not tears of regret only, but tears of release, tears that will cleanse the anxious corners of years you thought were lost. Open, and you will cry because the weight lifts, because what has been hidden will be revealed, because finally your eyes will see what your hands have not yet touched. Listen closely, the Lord sees the places you hide from others. He sees the corners you think are secret, the pockets of fear you pretend not to have. He knows the names of your disappointments. He knows the hours you spent awake whispering promises to the ceiling. He knows the prayers you swallowed in the dark because you were afraid someone would laugh. Do not be ashamed. God says He met you in the middle of that night and He stayed longer than you thought. He is dragging light into the rooms you locked against hope. This message is for you. If your heart has been heavy, if the calendar of your life has become a list of small failures, God is calling you to stand. He says, I created you for more than survival. I called you to more than the crumbs of comfort. I ordained a miracle that will not respect the limits of the past. I am breaking the dry places in your life. I am calling the hidden helpers, the unexpected doors, the sudden provision that looks impossible according to human logic. Do not sleep on this. Do not go about your business as if nothing has changed. Why? Because right now, even as you read, angels are arranging details that you cannot yet know. They move in patterns you could not predict. They will press open a book that has been shut for generations and write your name in bold. Do not try to skip this. For the one who has been told, wait, and has waited so long they forgot how to hope, God says, this waiting is not a void but a womb. Something is forming. The pressure you've endured is not punishment, it is preparation. The ache you carry is a signal, not that you have been abandoned, but that God has been near, calibrating every moment so that when the door opens you will walk through in confidence. God is begging you to trust, not superficially, but with everything in you. Trust the current even when you cannot trace the whole river. Archangel Michael's voice is firm and warm. He says, stand up from the place of resignation. The enemy wants you to believe you are too late. The enemy will whisper that your time has passed and your window is shut. But God says that windows close to keep out the noise, and open to let in destiny. The clock on your wall is not the final judge. There is a divine timetable that runs beside it, and right now the hand of that clock is moving toward a mercy that refuses to be small. This message is for you if you have lost love and thought your heart would never sing again. God says, your next love will not simply be a replacement for what you lost, it will be a restoration that corrects the things that went wrong before. It will be deeper, softer, anchored in truth. If you have been abandoned, your worth has not diminished. If you were betrayed, God is aligning loyal hearts around you. If fear told you to hide, God tells you to open your hands and receive. Do not be ashamed to hope again. This message is for you if your finances have been a source of sleepless nights, if you have opened bills and felt the air leave the room. God says, provision is on its way, provision that will arrive with witnesses and testimony. It may come in a form you did not expect, a phone call, a job offer, a package, a check you had forgotten about, a sale that closes overnight, a neighbor who becomes a sponsor, an old friend who remembers you at the right hour. God is not limited to your imagination. He is creative in the way He supplies. Do not doubt small beginnings. A seed that looks tiny in your hand contains a forest of provision. This message is for you if you are stuck in a job that drains your soul. God says, your gift is not wasted. Even the things that felt like detours were training grounds. The doors that slammed were not denials but redirecting forces. The skills you honed in pain will be transferable to destiny. Stand with integrity now. Speak truth in your workplace. Keep excellence as your petition even when it feels pointless. The angels take note of diligence. They will open a door for you that does not require you to compromise your soul. If you have been waiting for promotion, God says the promotion will come, whether in title, income, or opportunity to finally do the work that makes you feel alive. This message is for you if your health has been fragile, if you have feared each breath. God says, He is the great physician. He touches where medical science meets mystery. Your body is not beyond the scope of His compassion. Do not dismiss modern medicine, accept the hands of doctors and the prayers of friends. But know this, there is a supernatural component that the world cannot measure. Angels are assigned to the places where your body needs repair. Sometimes healing is instant, sometimes it is gradual, sometimes it is the peace that comes when acceptance replaces panic. Receive whatever portion of healing comes right now, physical, emotional, spiritual, and give thanks ahead of full restoration. God is begging you, forgive. This is not a throwaway line. Forgiveness is the key that removes the lock between you and your miracle. If you are clutching a grievance, large or small, release it now. Forgiveness does not mean you condone what happened. Forgiveness means you refuse to be tethered to bitterness. It is the spiritual act that frees your hands to receive the gifts God is bringing. If you have been waiting for someone to say sorry, begin the process of releasing even before the apology. Give up the right to be right, and you will find rights returned to you in other ways. This message is for you if your faith has been thin, if you touch the hem of belief like it is a last resort. God says, believe in the small things again. Small faith is a seed. Plant it. Speak what is invisible. Say aloud, I receive, with trembling or with boldness, it does not matter. Say it with the unbelief in your mouth if that is where you are right now. Say it anyway. The spoken word is a conduit for heaven. Words shift atmospheres. Declare your present need as if it is already a promise. The universe, made by God's voice, responds to the authority of words aligned with God's heart. This message is for you if regret has become your companion. There are roads behind you that you wish you had not taken. God does not erase your past mistakes the way a clerk erases a ledger, He repurposes them. That painful lesson becomes a testimony for someone else's healing. The way you once stumbled becomes the handrail for another who is walking the same dark path. Do not live as if your scars disqualify you. They qualify you to minister. Your story will be used. This is not flattery. This is a promise carved into eternity. God is begging you, stop shrinking. You were not meant to be small. The fear of visibility has kept you tiny, unseen, unnoticed. Refuse that whisper. Walk into rooms like you own the space appointed to you. The moment you stand differently, the world shifts in its perception. Opportunities land on the posture, not merely on the resume. There is a dignity in being presentable to destiny. Stand in your calling even if the stage seems empty at first. Someone is watching who will open a door because they saw you stand. This message is for you if loneliness has worn a groove into your life. God says, He is near to the broken. He sends people who will stay, friends who will become family, mentors who will speak life. Prepare to receive a circle that feels like home. It may be unconventional, a coworker, a neighbor, an online brother or sister, but it will be real. Do not push away the hands that reach for you. Let vulnerability be a bridge, not a trap. Archangel Michael's tone changes now, sword sheathed, hand extended. He says, there is a legal battle being fought on your behalf even if you do not know the contours. Your case is not lost. Legalities of life, whether courtrooms, contested inheritances, job disputes, or struggles for custody, are under divine surveillance. Do not be consumed by anxiety. Prepare your heart and your paperwork, but do not hinge your hope on human strategy alone. Pray, plan, and then release. God will bring witnesses into alignment. He will cause the truth to surface like oil on water. Expect clarity. Expect resolution. Expect favor that looks impossible. God is begging you, guard your mouth. The enemy loves careless words. Do not curse your future with fretting speech. Speak life. Speak calm. If you must name fear, follow it with naming faith. Replace "I can't" with "I will learn." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I am moving." The cadence of your speech shapes your days. A whispered confession of hope will do more than hours of rumination. Name the small victories. I completed that task, I sent the email, I showed up. Each small act of obedience compounds into a harvest. This message is for you who have been trying to control everything. God says surrender is not quitting, it is an intelligent alignment with the flow of heaven. Release your grip on outcomes and tighten your grip on integrity. Control is exhausting. Let go of the illusion that you can micromanage destiny. You are co-laboring with God, not running the show. There will be times to act boldly and times to wait silently. Discernment will come as you practice humility. This message is for you if you are parenting and exhausted. Archangel Michael sees the nights you rocked a feverish child, the arguments you swallowed because the family needed calm, the bravery you displayed behind closed doors. God says, you are not alone. He is raising up helpers for your home. Your children's future is being written with divine fingerprints. Keep praying simple prayers over them. Speak blessings. Call their names into promise. The small moments, a bedtime prayer, a hand held in public, are the scaffolding for miracles. This message is for you if you are in ministry, if you pour out until your cup is empty. God says, you are seen. He will refill you. When you feel used up, step into a private place and receive. Sabbath is not optional, it is oxygen for your calling. Archangel Michael stands as a protector over those who serve. Expect a season of renewed strength, fresh words, and congregations that hunger for the authenticity you bear. God is begging you, do not trade your character for success. Temptations will come cloaked as shortcuts. Resist flattery that asks you to bend your ethics. True elevation arrives with tests. Pass the test quietly, with prayer and wise counsel. The rewards that cost your soul are counterfeit. The rewards that come through obedience become testimonies. This message is for you if you are facing betrayal or injustice. God says, He is aligning vindication. Not necessarily vengeance with bitterness, but restoration that will make the scales balance. There is more. Keep a journal. The air around you is charged. Do not let it dissipate into distraction. As the minutes move, there are further things Archangel Michael presses into the atmosphere for you to receive and to do. These are not optional decorations, they are tactical instructions for how to move when heaven begins to swivel in your favor. First, there is a posture of expectancy to cultivate. Expectancy is not the same as impatience. Expectancy is a steady gaze fixed on the horizon, hands unclenched, ready to receive. Stand in that posture for 5 minutes each morning, feet grounded, breath measured, eyes closed, and speak aloud 3 statements of hope tailored to your life, not vague slogans, but specifics. I will see reconciliation with X by date. I will receive unexpected provision this month that covers Y. I will find clarity about Z in the next 7 days. Put dates beside your prayers. Heaven loves particularity. The angels are given maps when we draw them. Second, create a simple altar of memory. This is not a religious relic, it is a practical habit. Choose a small notebook, call it your ledger of mercy. Every answered prayer, every small favor, every seemingly insignificant kindness that turned the tide, write it down. Include the date, the people involved, and a one-sentence note of gratitude. This ledger will outlive discouragement. Years from now, when storms return, you will leaf through it and see patterns you could not see in the middle of pain. Memory fuels faith. Third, recalibrate your rhythms. Destiny rarely arrives in chaos. Create pockets of sacred ordinary in your week, 1 hour of undistracted thinking, 1 afternoon of silence, 1 meal with someone who sees you. Guard these rhythms like you guard your sleep. They are not indulgences, they are scaffolding. Future opportunities need a steward who is rested and available. Fourth, let practical reconciliation be an immediate priority. If there is a relationship you have strained, a friend, a parent, a partner, initiate one small peace offering today. It need not solve everything, it only needs to start a new trajectory. A text that says, "I miss you," or "Can we talk?" is sometimes the hinge that swings a season. Humility is not weakness. Humility is leverage. Fifth, place a boundary in writing. Boundaries are prophetic when spoken and binding when written. If your calendar is being eaten by obligations that do not reflect your priorities, write a 1-page covenant with yourself, what you will protect, what you will release, and 2 non-negotiables for your time. Put it where you can see it. The angels will honor a life that honors what matters. Sixth, be vigilant with your imagination. The enemy will try to replay the worst-case scenario like a broken record. Interrupt that tape. When a fearful picture rises, immediately replace it with an image of the desired outcome, and narrate it as if it already happened. Imagine the phone call, the embrace, the news. Say it aloud. The brain cannot tell the difference between rehearsed hope and actual memory when you state it concretely. This practice rewires expectation. Seventh, gather a sounding board. Do not carry the weight alone. Choose 2 trusted people who will speak truth and pray specifically into your decisions. Tell them exactly what you need: accountability, discernment, or just prayer. Make the ask specific. Can you pray for my job interview on Wednesday at 10 a.m.? People want to help, they just don't always know how. Give them tasks. Eighth, prepare a small emergency plan for provision. If money has been thin, make a list of 3 immediate steps you can take to stabilize this week: a service you can offer, an item you can sell, a person you can contact. Pair each step with a simple faith action: prayer before the call, gratitude after the email, a note of thanks when a door opens. The combination of practical planning and faith posture invites provision to work through both human and heavenly channels. Ninth, steward your creative work like a business. If you have a calling to create, words, ministry, art, service, treat it with dignity. Create a basic weekly plan of one small activity that moves the work forward. Write 500 words, record a short message, draft an outline. Do it even when you don't feel ready. The momentum builds in the doing. When the doors open, you will have product to present, not only ambition. 10th, claim sovereignty over your morning. The way you start your day matters. Before screens, before emails, before the world presses in, take 10 minutes to fix your heart. Light a candle if that helps you, or simply sit and breathe. Speak the names of 3 people you are interceding for. Pray like you are writing the first lines of a new season. The morning sets the tone for the rest of your hours. 11th, pay attention to symbolic markers. Sometimes God uses small signs to confirm direction: a repeated number, a persistent phrase, the same scripture appearing twice in a day, a dream that repeats, a person who says your name in a crowd. When you notice a marker, jot it in your ledger and ask God for clarity. These are breadcrumbs, not the entire map. They should be tested against wisdom and counsel, but they are real. 12th, practice generosity now, even if the outflow feels risky. Give time, not just money. Volunteer, mentor, or even send a note of encouragement to someone struggling. Giving is not a gamble on future return. It is a spiritual posture that aligns you with the principle of overflow. When you open your hand becomes a conduit instead of a closed fist. 13th, cultivate a short, fierce habit of daily declaration. Choose 5 sentences that capture your identity and destiny. Speak them every morning and every night. They can be as simple as, I am loved, I am equipped, I am moving, I am forgiven, I am protected. Repetition is not empty, it is formative. Words shape the soul. 14th, plan for rest as a strategic act. Rest is not an escape from responsibility. It is an essential element of stewardship. Schedule a Sabbath segment this week, 3 hours of undisturbed rest. No work, no strategizing, just presence. Let the angels do their part while you are still. Often, clarity arrives in the space that follows rest. 15th, prepare for multiplication. When blessing arrives, decide now how you will steward increase. Will you tithe? Will you invest in a project? Will you save a portion for future seasons? Decide principle ahead of blessing so that when abundance comes you are not caught off guard. Generosity and prudence together make space for sustainable growth. Finally, keep returning to the simple 3 actions Archangel Michael gave you at the threshold: breathe, confess, and do one practical thing. Repeat them daily for 7 days. Make them rhythms, not rituals. As you do, watch how small alignments compound into visible answers. You are not the sum of your worst days. You are not defined by a single mistake, a single season of lack, or a single moment of sorrow. There are currents beneath your current reality, and those currents are moving. The work that has been hidden will be revealed. The doors that have been closed will be nudged open. The helpers you need are being informed even now. If you feel fear rising, press harder into gratitude. If you feel numb, take a step so small you cannot justify it with logic, then watch the universe justify it for you. If you are tempted to delay, remember the knife edge of 15 minutes that turned into a threshold. Once you begin to move, momentum will carry you farther than your initial courage could have calculated. Keep this message close. Read it again tomorrow. Read it when the night feels long. Use it as a script for your prayers, a template for your action, and a reminder that you are not wandering aimlessly. There is intentionality around you.